Wing Chun is often discussed today through legends, cinema, or exaggerated claims of combat dominance. Historically, however, its real significance lies elsewhere. Wing Chun is best understood not as a battlefield art or a system founded by a single historical master, but as a practical urban fighting method that later underwent a profound social transformation. Most credible historical reconstructions place the formation and systematization of Wing Chun in southern China, particularly the Foshan Guangdong region, between the late 18th and early 19th centuries. This was not a military environment. It was a densely populated commercial society shaped by river trade, workshops, guilds, and traveling opera troupes. Violence existed, but it was interpersonal, sudden, and confined to narrow spaces. Wing Chun reflects that reality. Its emphasis on centerline control, short-range striking, economy of motion, and rapid resolution makes sense in cramped urban settings. It does not resemble arts designed for armor, formations, or weapons. Just as important, Wing Chun lacks what military systems usually have: verified battlefield records, formal manuals, or state sponsorship. There is also no historically verified single founder. Figures such as Ng Mui or Yim Wing Chun function symbolically rather than as documentable individuals. From an academic standpoint, Wing Chun emerged from a community process rather than from a lone to sue in the literal sense. For much of its early history, Wing Chun was transmitted privately. Teachers such as Leung Jan and Wah Shun taught discreetly, often alongside another profession. There were no public schools, no signs, and no attempt to popularize the art. This was typical of southern Chinese civilian martial culture, where public exposure could invite legal or social trouble. The decisive break came in the early 1950s, when Ip Man relocated to Hong Kong and opened a public Wing Chun school. For the first time, Wing Chun was taught openly, for tuition, in group classes, to students without prior personal ties. This step did not change the techniques themselves, but it completely changed Wing Chun's social role. It moved from a quiet survival skill into a modern, institutionalized martial art. It was in this environment that Bruce Lee encountered Wing Chun. At the time, the system was not famous, but it was known among those who cared about practical self-defense. In the urban reality of 1950s Hong Kong, Wing Chun offered what Lee needed: directness, efficiency, and immediate applicability. More importantly, it aligned with his emerging philosophy, rejecting excess form and prioritizing function over tradition. Although Lee later moved beyond Wing Chun to develop Jeet Kune Do, many of his core ideas, economy of motion, adaptability, and personal verification, were already present in his early training. Wing Chun did not define his final system, but it helped shape the way he thought about martial arts. Decades later, Wing Chun entered global popular culture through film, most notably via Donnie Yen. Cinema transformed Wing Chun into a heroic symbol, often exaggerating its effectiveness and moral clarity. While this portrayal is historically inaccurate, it rests on a real foundation, a compact, efficient system that visually communicates control and structure. Ultimately, Wing Chun's importance does not lie in legends, military myths, or claims of supremacy. Its real legacy is its trajectory, from a civilian urban fighting method, to a public martial art, to a philosophical influence on modern combat thinking. That evolution, rather than any single victory or founder, is what makes Wing Chun historically and intellectually compelling.